All right, we're live. How's it going, everybody? I don't know how well this is going to work. My computer, my laptop's not letting me go live. It keeps saying my browser is blocking my camera access, and it's not. There's no setting anywhere that I can see where it's all blocking. So I had to put this on my cell phone. So hopefully this is working right now. So how you guys doing? I just wanted to go over these elements. Welcome to uh the next week. I wasn't able to get on yesterday. Friday's 5 p.m. for me, probably not a good time. So I'm gonna have to do these some other times. But hopefully you guys are practicing somewhat of your microcosmic orbits and things like this. We're gonna get into more of it. What was it? Your dantians, focusing on your three dantians, very important. Um, I'm gonna see if I can add my other self to this stream. Hold on. So like even though join without my cam, it's the only option I got. Can I share a screen? Let's see, guys. I think I got. Let's see how this is gonna go. Lock my mic and camera, okay, but it's gonna share a screen. Okay. Of course, okay, so that works, but it won't connect my devices. And now, let me click on nothing. So I got two of these. Oh, wait here. Blow you guys up. So I wanted to go over the five elements with you guys here, and I've talked about them on my show before. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you're probably used to this. I'm always talking about the five elements, one way or another. I'm trying to zoom in, zoom. There it goes. So if you try to understand what's important to understand about the five elements, now we talked about the three dantian, how it's heaven, earth, and human, if you will, right? So that's kind of like their idea of the Trinity. So Tai Chi begins from the Wu Ji, which is nothingness, the Tao. Tao means way. And so then that splits off into two, the polarization, male, female, if you will, yin yang. And then the two of those create the three, and then the three create the 10,000 things. And I kind of think of it as maybe a little more where the yin and yang create all the 10,000 things, because it's within the two that makes the three. But again, it's more of a practical way, like I was saying last week, where they're very realist, rational, practical, about all of this stuff. It's not like made up. There's no blind faith in this, because they've learned it all, they've practiced it all, you can map it out, with electronics, and all this stuff's being tested, and where a guy goes down into his lower dantian and then he's brain dead according to the EKG or whatever he's hooked up to, the electric whatever things. What are they called? I don't even know. The things they put on you, the pads, the sticky pads with the electric thing on it with the wire. But anyways, this guy here, five elements. So if we start with, like, let's say the wood element, we'll start on the left. I got my camera like overlaying on top of my laptop screen, or my phone's like right in the way of all of this. It's pretty simple. You guys can look this stuff up, but it's really important to understand it because, so like I said, the Tai Chi, the zero nothingness, right, creates a two creates a three creates all of life, right? So the interchange. But like I said, I would almost call it the interchange between the yin and yang. The permeations in what the two are doing, because that's the whole spectrum, right? Like, um, hot to cold, male to female, right? So it's everything within them. So whether you three and 10,000 things, that's it's all about what we're learning, how we're learning, how we kind of apply it. So that's why it's important to apply this, because then once the 10,000 things, every 10,000 thing or every third thing, if you go from how I feel, starts the dance, starts the five phases, and then they come into being. So it's you can look up five phases, all this stuff on your own, like I said, but I wanted to go over the basics of it. So if you start with wood here, wood is what supports fire, right? So it creates, then it overacts because you can do too much wood and your fire isn't strong enough to burn your wood, right? And so this is the liver. And we'll get into, yeah, okay, that's all over here. So I'll show you guys in a second. It's kind of the same thing. Um, but we'll get, oh, what is it doing? Right, but I like this one because it points out how it creates and then it overacts and then it destroys and it insults. Because essentially there's the creation cycle, which is when they're all in the right order, which is the flow that we're all seeking. Then there's the, they call them destruction or controlling cycles. I just said controlling, right? So it's not it's not just destruction, right? But the difference being, so wood, is used to grow fire, right? Um, but then in order to put out the fire, you just use water. So water goes straight over and destroys fire. So then fire insults the water back because it always will lose to the fire, right? And then if you go to metal, right, metal insults the fire because the fire will always melt, the metal and things like this. So it insults. So this is kind of like wordy with this one, right? But once you understand, so then, starting with the wood element, you go to the fire. Fire burns, right, and recreates earth or lava. You could think of, right, a volcano erupting, more earth, or burns things down to ash and it creates more earth, and then build on top of the ash. From there, all the cycles. Earth holds metal, right? So, um, or hold on, I'm saying it right. Fire destroys, or fire creates earth, and then earth gives rise to the metal because of the compression in the earth, right? And so, like, how does a diamond get formed? Through the pressurization of carbon, right? Is it carbon? Carbon? What is it? What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm doing this right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going. I'm just sharing this again, right? So the earth creates all the metals, right, in compression, and the metal holds water. Um, so if anytime metal and water falls on it, it just falls right off. It carries it with it, whichever way the metal, the rocks are constructed. That's where the way the water's got to go. And then the water supports wood, obviously, by giving nutrients or water to the ground. Wood grows, and then it all destroys something else. So the wood destroys earth because wood grows out of the earth, right? The earth destroys water because if you think of the comparison of metal, water on metal sliding down, if you have water on earth, it soaks in. So the earth takes the water, right? And then it can lift up. I don't know if the earth rose, and it will create a lake. So it hold the water. And so it stops water, sort of, in a sense, right? And it absorbs it. Um, and then which one? Water. Yeah, water destroys fire. Fire melts the metal. Metal destroys wood, such as chopping, right? Stronger, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you apply this, right, to like your actual life, right? This is why, this is more of a way of life before it ever became a religion. It was never really, it was an understanding of how the nothingness becomes the Tai Chi, and then the Tai Chi, the Wuji becomes the Tai Chi, and then the Tai Chi becomes 10,000 things, and then it's heaven, earth, and then you, and we have three dantians within our bodies, right? And they're heaven, okay, I think you're fine, right? And so when you go to the wood, right, it's your liver and then your gallbladder, right? Anger and faith or kindness, right? Springtime, beginning, envisioning, right? Wood, growing, plant life, right? Creation cycle. Then it goes to the fire, which is the heart, pericardium, small intestine, triple burners. That's kind of a sixth one. Risking, manifesting, right? That excitement, joy, and then sadness. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of how you apply. You'll feel the energy of anger, of joy, of worry, of grief, of fear, right? If you jump around them all, and you'll feel them more so in those centers of the body. And so that's why it's extremely important to keep all five elements in order and moving together and not spending too much time staying in one area, staying in another area, removing the dams and all of this stuff, right? So the fire, creates earth. So it gives life to more earth, right? Fire, passion, it just, it wants to create and explode. And then it creates, earth. So then earth kind of, grounds it all, if you will, after the radiation and expansion and this and that. And then it'll go down to your, or, your spleen, your spleen, stomach, worry, thinking, supporting sound with Indian summer. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It's Indian summer for Earth because the fire starts normal summer and then it's kind of that Indian summer where it kind of gets like really hot, but it's because it's like settling hot, that's and then you'll get into metals, the metal, which is fall, and then it's your lungs are just that your grief, like when you cry or something, your eyes, your breathing is, and then your heart's going like so. It's all kind of related to these energy points and our emotions and all this stuff. So you can control that, So if you need like if you have a lot of grief and you feel really, your lungs, you can burn it, you can burn through with the joy, with the oh my god, the use this and then heal the lungs, right? Or then if you're having, you're really really mad, right? Anger, and you're not being nice and this and that, right? And what do they say? you know Breathe, calm down, count backwards from 10 when you're like upset and when you're right, because your breath, this is engaging the lungs, so you're using the lungs to override or to restore, more balance to your liver or to the wood energy, right? Water, accepting, right? All this to put out the fire. Simple, use water, fire. There's water and fire, Qigongs that, we'll perhaps talk about later in a later video. Um, but the kidney, right? So the fear, so fear and generosity, right? Right. Wisdom, I would say with the kidney, right? It's usually the bear animal. They all kind of have their animals do all their bears. So then you just wash over your fire, all that heat with some, compassion, if you will, right? We went to lungs, right? Burn, anything, any grief in the lungs, anything like that. If you have anger, breathe. If you're worrying, right? If you're overthinking, go do something right here. Wood, spring, beginning, go start something, right? That's why we say if you're worrying, go do this, right? And you can add every single thing that like you've ever heard that people say to go do and add it to this and you'll see why we go do it and or why it's said. Um, this is the five element system. There's sounds that go with these, and when you get into the sounds, like for example, the wood sound is like shushing, shh, like that. So, and then you think about what do we do with a baby, or when a baby's crying, you're rocking them or shh, like you're shushing them. You're saying shh, 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 calm down, shh, it's okay, shh, shh. So if you make that sound, you can go shh. You'll create that vibration and you inside that part of your body, and that's why it's these things are very powerful. Every sound that we can make comes from a part of our body, right? So if you think of it, the only reason we can make the sound is because our body is making the sound. So our bodies have natural resonant sounds, right? Which I'm sure most of you guys know. So really studying this, right? Starting to I didn't get the one with the sounds. I didn't even think about that. You guys can totally look it up, but it's SH for the wood sound. It's HA like it's like you're letting out the heat, the fire, right? Earth spleen, it's Hu and Ho, HUHO. HU for acute, HO for more chronic, denser energies, or if you would. Metal is hissing sound, so it's HS. It's like a snake, or just S. It's a hissing. You want to with the lung sound, and then the water is Chu, CHU or CHOO. For so yeah, I just wanted to don't forget about that. So that's what I wanted to say too is so practicing those sounds just in your meditation. If you have time, do that for about a week. See if you guys can do that, and just make these sounds while you're doing your meditation. Do start with something. If you feel too much fire, a lot of times, in the Western world. so fast paced. It's so, we really need to relax. And a lot of that is, that's a lot of liver, gallbladder beginning, right? Spring. So it's the drive to create something new, the drive to push forward. They call the liver the commander of the body, right? If you will. So going and doing something, right? Which so many people are trying to do and make life better and work and work, 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 right? All the time. And then it burns up and then it overabundance in our fire, right? And we start getting angry, right? Or sadness, right? The anger comes from not being able to get it done or something, or not being able to start doing something. And then you start doing it, and then it's, getting harder and harder and harder. Your fire, you're using up your fire. It's not as much fun. It's starting to be more work or something, right? Sad. So I would say not so much sadness here, but hatred would be here. Joy and then hate, right? Like you're totally enjoy or you're totally hate something. Anger, faith, anger, niceness, anger, nice, being nice, kindness. Um, but then your fire gets burnt up, right? Then your earth becomes bad. So now you're all over the place and you're not grounded on your earth because you have overabundance, right? So how would you do all these things? You'd have to take a shower, a bath, jump in a lake, go swimming, and that'll calm your fire down, right? But then you got to breathe in order to calm down the fact that you can't do what you can do. It's like kids. Kid gets really upset, and then they start hyperventilating or they start going whatever. And what do they do when they hyperventilate? And why are they hyperventilating? Because they can't do something that they really, really, really want to do. And that's liver. That's the commander. That's the springtime. And they get angry and they get mad, right? And so that's what we tell them to breathe. They got to breathe. You're going to hyperventilate, right? That's too funny. And there are examples everywhere. I don't know. I wish I could think of like all the examples. That one just is totally sticking out today. Uh, so like earth, right? So your water, right? If your water is your fear, and you got too many emotions and there's too many things going on, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen if I do this? What's going to happen if I do that, right? Because you're worried, see, worry, mess up your spleen. And then your water creates the fear, right? And then now your fear. So how do you control the fear that's created by your worrying? You have to empower your worrying. You have to have the faith, the face of the good side of the goal. So go do something that's going to give you more earth energy, more actual physical, tangible manifestation stuff. Okay, actually, right? Doing it, and then it's going to make you not fear as much because you felt like you prepared for something, or you've done something to help, right? Productive or whatever. Instead of being like, oh no, what's going to happen? Maybe now you're a little more protected from the elements in case something does happen, And then what's the lungs one, right? Grief and discernment. Yeah, it's grief and I mean that's so there's the negative and the positive. Yeah, I would override. I'd say the positive of Earth is not thinking, worrying, thinking. I'd say it's let me go with wood. So we have anger, kindness, joy, hate, um, worry, and then really just groundedness and abundance is what it is. It's abundance might be, because the opposite of worry would be completely free. You know what I mean? So centered, grounded, like free. Lungs, grief, um, and then I would say presence has been my favorite one because the lungs establish your presence. So when you're angry, breathe, breathe, get back to who you are, calm down, right? It's awareness almost like grief, but then there's grief like, oh no, you know, there's grief. I don't want to talk about grief, right? Right. And so the opposite of grief, not necessarily discernment, but I like the discernment kind of works, because it's like, well, why am I grieving? But you might have a reason to grieve, right? So it's more about like presence and strength, metal, strong, right? That's probably just the strongest we got, type stuff. So strengths and it's over the grief and over the and then it's the beauty too. Colors white. It should be white. Looks like they went with purple instead of and then blue. Um, Kidney butter, fear, yeah, fear, and then kindness in the wood because kindness is giving. So water would probably be more fear, and then um, wisdom. The wisdom to know better, right? So how do you overcome all these things? Are you if you're worrying too much, right here it says right here, this is the controlling, right? So your fire will give you more, right? But if you're worrying, then your fire is not going to have the happy place to go, right? So you got to drop back over here to the liver, to the wood, and then have faith because you forgot to have faith why? Because you're worried. So have faith, right? And then if this gets out of balance, you start getting angry. What we were saying before, presence, breathe, have strength, stop being, the anger, the come back over here. Remember who you are, remember where you are, before you freak out, get a little angry over there. Right. And so they control each other, right? It's the controlling cycle and creation cycle. Yeah, here it says control cycle. So yeah, Sheng and Ko. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all that I really, I guess, have to say for now about the whole elements, right? If you if you're too in fear, right? You know what I mean? Use it by centering yourself, right? It's kind of like the same thing. We're going from right to left, sides of the body. Later, I might talk about the Bagua, the 8 directions, which further moves into more of creation and elements. But I kind of don't want to get too far off because I think one thing that's out there is a lot of information. And we all I think people just got to start doing it more, like meditate more, do more tai chi, do more kung fu, do more whatever it is that you love to do. If you love to paint more, if you love to create this, create more of that. um Instead of all of the, because we're still living in a world where it's kind of like, oh, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, blind faith, prove it, blind faith, prove it, try and explain how it is for you and have someone else understand that and then try to have them explain, right? We got to get over the old system. We're still working out of that old system where is it true or not true, and is it, but of course, if it's blind faith, it's blind faith. But there's a lot of things like this that are out there that work, but you have to work at it. You have to put in the work, right? And it's one of the things that I say it all the time. There's a million things to do. Which ones do we even know? And that's why for me, I always come back to this stuff. Like it's completely thought out, completely planned out, completely mapped out, completely talked about for thousands of years by these guys. Like they figured this out. They figured out how the body works, and so the whole, when going back to last week, the three dantian, that's how you grow your light body. They say that most bodies start as yin, and then only through this process of in the enlightenment and understanding the phases and all this will you gain the light body, and not the phases. What is it? That's the Buddhist. Look up the four truths and then the eight. I can't think of them right now, but the four truths and then the eight. Hold on, you know what? Let me hop off screen share. How do I do this? Here. Go back over to Brave. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay, back to my camera. Oh, oh, sorry about the quality on that, man. Let me pull up. I don't think we're going to talk about this one today. Or, they're called what is it? Noble Truths. That's what y'all got to check out too. There's so much of this stuff, guys. You know what I mean? The Eightfold Path. Thank you. So here, I think this one will have it. I'll share this page with you guys. Yeah. Here, check this out. Um, StreamYard. Put that back on the screen. Are you seeing the Buddhism? Yeah, there we go. So check this out. So the Four Noble Truths right here. Where are they? Oh, they're like third. So the first truth is suffering. That suffering is a part of life, right? The second truth um, is the recognition that why doesn't he have what they're called? It comes from desire. And so the truth is letting go of your desire. And the third one is that our attachment to desire, if it ends, so too will the suffering. So stepping away. And then the fourth one is like the path, right? And so if you get into the eightfold path here, there's right understanding. There's all these things where, what is it? Let's see. The Eightfold Path, although referred to as steps on a path, is not meant as a sequential learning process, but as 8 aspects of life to which are to be integrated in everyday life. This moves you closer to the Buddhist path, and you can get into all this stuff, but it's cool. It's the right understanding, the right intent, the right speech, the right action, the right livelihood, the right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And when you get into, the Tai Chi and the movements of Tai Chi, the whole point is to center your body. It's why there's so much strength and just like simple subtle movements and correct posture and all these kinds of things. So just by standing, doing these simple movements like little qigongs and tai chis, your body's internal structure will become stronger. I mean, they say it takes years of practicing just the internal movements, practicing them. It like seriously go try and do like just a regular punch like with your legs out like boo ma boo whatever. Right, that does it. Just put your legs somewhere, punch, do, and see how well you can actually do that. And it's not about, realize it's not about the punching, it's not about how like hard you can hit the guy. It's about the internal structure that you maintain the entire time so chi goes through you good. So it's like if you're punching somebody and you're coming like with a right fist or left right, and then you don't just throw your body towards them and like just push it out. You want to center down. You want to hit and then go down and push and center and use like your whole body structure, bones and everything to use the force, and it makes it easier for you, because you're moving to the natural rhythm of what your body moves to. So you know um you're sinking down. You're not just trying to like lean in and just knock people out. Yeah. Hey Steffi, I can see, hold on, I got you on my, I know I'm looking at like my laptop camera, my which doesn't work still. My phone went down here. Yeah, center yourself, enjoy it every day, and yeah, and learning to use it all. Like I say, you're learning to just slow down, right? And realize how much we're actually doing at all times. That it's like the idea of telepathy, right? I think that's hilarious. Like if we're going to come into, more and more type of telepathic skills, people are going to have to start watching what they're thinking, boy. That's all I got to say. It's like, because sometimes when you pick up on what somebody might be saying, but then you pick up on what other people think that you're thinking, you know what I mean? And man, it gets confusing. I don't even want to. I don't even know where to start with that because we just got to get people to realize telepathy is a real thing. It's not all just how it looks in the movies. So that means it can't be real in real life. So, but no, it's really cool. You say you're making bread? Are you learning? Oh, okay. Fresh ground wheat. That's so good. That yeah, we all need to be making our own bread. Oh my gosh. Garden. Nice. Yeah, it's been a heck of a ride, that's for sure. I totally got, I'm gonna talk about it probably tomorrow on my live, but I totally got so many activations throughout all of this. I had to complete my chest and then my whole back was just murdered. Like just it was sore for like 2 weeks. or something. It happened like 2 weeks ago, and it's finally not being sore now that I start seeing all the videos out there where people are talking about it. Like, oh, now it's good. Okay, yeah, I guess we gotta do it, some of it first. We're all holding different angles, right, and spaces. Uh, so it hits us all different ways, right? But this stuff really important. Yeah, this I just what is it? Right understanding. You have to get into it. I want to. It'd be too much. A whole nother video or something, right? But um, it basically it's the idea that it like you know it's what creates your true light body, your solar. You go from yin, which is the lunar, the moon body. We're all just reflections because if we're still in the game, we're in reflections and we're living lives as reflection. And that's what who's really running the show. What's really who am I? I did it all. It was all me. Oh, okay. Well, we got to go through all that. So that's the whole waking up to like yeah, it's a lot of that. It's true. You did. Your subconscious thoughts, your unconscious thoughts, and anything like that. It makes a difference in where you're going to be tomorrow. It does. If you just watch negative Nancy news and dramatic television shows all the time or something, then you're gonna have you, and then you want to calm down. When, like, when, how? That's why the world we're all and it's the desire, like the Buddha, this stuff is it's wanting so much. And I'll always tease spirit, and because don't give me the fact that desire is the reason why we're all, but it's the in the Buddha sense, it's the idea that it causes suffering because you desire. Second you desire something, if you don't get it now, how are you going to feel? You know what I mean? Like, all right. So we learned to just and then, I mean, it's like, I wanted a cheeseburger, but we all decided on pizza, and then so you just let it go, right? What do? We let it go. You just let it go all the time. Don't let it build up, right? But it's true no matter how you look at it. But it also doesn't mean that passion, and desire that we have within us isn't meant to, be there too. This desire is okay, but it's more of like a understanding the flow. So the concept, like, right, of Buddha is Buddha never believed, he didn't believe, where did I read it? It's something, he didn't believe that, like, I don't know if it was this recently, where he didn't believe in like a God, like a creator, someone outside of us or whatever that like can do things for you, like for us, like as a separate person, right? It's all internal. It's all the same thing. And so it's kind of like the law of consistency or whatever, right? Every single thing that exists today was created by somebody or something, right? You're here, your ancestors, they're here, everybody's here. The spoon that you just had lunch, breakfast with, right, was created by somebody. It was created. And then how did it create? It was created by a machine with a laser on a sheet of metal, and then it was heated and or whatever. And then where did the machine come from? Well, we had to build the machine with the rotor and motor, and it's like it all starts from somewhere. And so the concept of like blind faith is like it's what he just doesn't have. He didn't have that. He just removed that because it's not real. There is no blind faith. There's faith in the sense of like, oh yeah, I know this will work out. But to be hypersensitive and hyper aware, now we take this into like galactic conscious, super conscious type stuff, whatever. um you'll know, right? That's the whole idea. Set, more higher consciousness, and we know more, we see how it all works, we understand how it works. Like I always say, what's magic to the magician? It's a skill, right? It's an ability. It's not magic to the magician behind the or whatever, or his assistant, or whatever. Right? They know the trick. Um, but then it's not just a trick; it's an actual thing. It's a performance. It's whatever. And if you think if it's just a trick of the eye, well, we can only see like 3D. Think of all the other things that we're not seeing. So much for a trick. Whew, it's I'm be all we are at being tricked is at that point. Wait a minute, right? So, what level of consciousness do you want to see things? Do you want to understand things? Like synesthesia, do you want to taste sounds and smell colors, right? Do you want to, right? Like it can be done. I'm not, it doesn't mean something's wrong with your processor. No, it means you're upgrading, you're getting faster. It doesn't mean that I now don't see the color for what it is and all I can do is smell them now. But it's called understanding the energetic frequencies of things because everything is energy, nothing is solid. We all know this, guys. We all know this. That's why we all got to keep talking. So we keep putting all these little tidbits together in our practical lives, right? That's why I love this, where are we now? I got to go back to this guy, right? Because this will tell you everything about the creation cycles. And all of the searching for more information on the creation side, it's just getting further and further and further and further and further out there, So there's always going to be more information to find out as long as we keep creating and creating and creating and creating and creating. But if we want to know the source and the truth and the oneness and all these things, that everyone, I think, whether they're religious or whatever, I think that's what everybody's really looking for, I'm just saying, hint. It's already here and it's inside you. It has to do with your mind, well, not just your mind, your heaven, your earth, and your being. Your Jing, your Qi, your Shen, right? Your Jing is your DNA root. Your Qi is your heart, your movements, your in life, right? What you do now with your DNA. And then Shen, spirit, cultivating the the spirit within the body. And that's how you get into the enlightenment. This is why the Kundalini yoga got so big, right? It's and the whole idea of the snake going up the spine, right? Okay, yes, we got it. Snake, come down, come back down, because we're not here to be space. That's what space is doing. Space has got space figured out. Mama Guy's got Mama Guy's figured out, right? How are we going to tell either one, right? No, we need to listen to both of them and then we create in this physical, right? So it's not desire, like I was saying before, like we desire, right? It's a natural flow and creation and who you're being and what you do and what you say and how you say it and what you mean to say, right? But we live in a world where everybody is still just challenging mental. Like if you say anything or you think anything that's weird, you're just mental. That's all that it means, Like Western has medical system is clueless. Like I'm sorry, that's just my personal opinion. Not like they don't know some stuff, but yeah, everybody knows that same stuff. Like we're not figuring anything out in the Western world that medicine can't figure out somewhere else. Um, because even like what is it, anesthesia, right? Which we use, that was in Europe. The guy who made the anesthesia so you could do surgeries or whatever, that guy was in Europe, like or whatever. I mean, it's all this Western, and I guess technically that's Western too, because before the Americas, it was just Native Americans over here minding their own business, right? So East and West was, China and then what, Africa kind of in the middle, and then you start, and then Europe, right? And then it was the real westward expansion where they came all the way over here. So they tried to say it was just looking for gold. I'm sure that's not why they came here to begin with. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. It's this concept, like it's all connected. When we think about it, I'm starting to get smarty farty. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. Okay, here. Yeah, super ride last couple months. I know a lot of people were going through it too. Even Mama. Shout out Mama. Love Mama. She's been just, going through it too, sore and just like we had planned, we're gonna go do something or, whatever. Now I'll do it tomorrow. I'm, feel blah today. And and then yesterday she tells me that her mid back. And I was just like, I've literally been back in chest expansions for like the past 2 weeks, but I don't know if she understands them or could understand them in that way. It just means she's dying, I think, in her because she's still on the old Western You know, not all of them, right? It's like when you work out and you get sore. You're sore because you're growing muscles. You know, like it's not just because you're sore, right? But I don't know. I want to help. I want to help. But I really can't say a lot. Um, I've been going through the legs, hips. Okay, yeah, yeah. You got to go through. Yeah, it is right. You got to face it like head on. It's like, you know what? Let me find. Hold on, man. I've been really wanting to find this one. See, no, this I say we got to talk about this next show because this is gonna be too much then. If I'm, hold on. But I'm lying because I want to show you guys right now, right? 'Cause we're already talking about it. Hold on, we'll go back. How to unlock. Yeah, see, look, how to unblock camera for StreamYard. Hold on, I want to I'll get you out of there for a second. See my pretty face. Um, it's like all it is like how to fix browser. Why is Brave not? Oh yeah, there it is. Chen style type. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking this up today, this morning too, while I was putting this all together, and then I was like, I'm not gonna talk about all this stuff. I'm like, this is why I'm a blabber. Like I have to blab because I go on like it's all connected, and my vision is a world where we're all talking about stuff like that because we're gonna connect all these things. We're gonna connect all the pieces that the oh my gosh, I don't, and that's what I'm always looking at. That's why I love those memes where it's like the one with the cat where it's just like me waiting to interject something in this conversation that's gonna be make it like completely awkward right now or whatever, because like everybody's talking about, the Kardashians and it's like I'm kind of like, we're creators of life. So, right? I really don't care what Kardashian's doing. I'm trying to figure out how I relate to the elements and how I am the elements and how life is. It's like way different. Like I can't talk with like I can't small talk for too long. Right? I need a drink if I'm gonna small talk, and then too many, and then I won't small talk anymore, and then it just gets bad. So yeah, so there's all this like you guys can learn. So check it out here. I'll tell it real quick. So see, this was really good. So I was so glad I found this, and I want to talk all about it. It looks so simple. Can we zoom in a little bit? Yeah. Try to zoom in for you. Come on, tablet. Um, right. So it looks really hard, right? But what it is look at here. So the connection. So your wrist, right, is your ankle. Your left wrist is your right ankle, right? Your right elbow is your left knee. Okay, your right hip is your left shoulder. So you can look at all these things. So right, so the foot is straight in line with his other hand, with the opposite side, right? His left leg, this is actually going with the hand. Because see how the elbow's bent and then the knee's bent. So the left knee and right elbow are bent, right? Both of these are straight, the other sides, right? And so you get into this, and it properly structures your body. And then eventually, right? And so you want to settle. This is why they always settle. What we see, shifting weight, settling into posture, dropping the weight. Why dropping the weight at the end of the pose, right? Because he dropped his weight and he pushes him off balance. So this is probably the best way to show it. Just as I was trying to tell you guys, it's like the right punch. Just look at the punch. I can't see it here. So you punch and you go in. Now, most people, you want to push and you want to force, but what creates the strength is settling into your pose and making that straight line again. So you don't have to push them further, but you nail yourself down into the ground. And then where's the other one? I think they had, where's the other, where's the one with they had a good one. Maybe it was something else I was looking at. See, so then here, right, the order of movements. So if you're opening your arm just to the side, right, your center shifts first. and your shoulders expand and open up, and your arm rotates out with like whatever the move. After your practice, one will begin to feel the connection between the center and the limbs. So now you're starting to see you're focused on your center, right? The whole entire time, all the Tai Chi we do, all the meditations we're talking about, it's your center. And then everything is burst from that moment. And in order to be aware and fully conscientious of what you're doing, you have to develop the awareness of what you're doing and thinking and creating, all of it, right? Like, we are searching for the abilities and we already have them. We're already using them, right? Like, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. I love this stuff. I'm trying to get to this part right here. This is the example. See, signs of weakness, right? Weak foundation, right? This guy on the left, right? Tension. Tension is a sign of weakness. Yeah. So right here, right? Both strong. He's pushing. They're both grounded, right? And so first push, I fought against your force, not letting you in. However, you're able to read my moves, right? Because now you're meeting each other and you're communicating, if you will. Second push, I allow you to come in and make you believe that you've bettered me. Because of this, you will not read my body and you will be off guard. So the idea being that now his force that he's pushing this way, you took it in, which puts him off his balance. So the first person to yield in the fight is the one who will overcome, because you yielded. So now they won, right? Or whatever they think right? But then in reality, you've just retreated to more, look, upper body maintain, grounding increased. You've maintained your ground position because you let them push on you. So it's that whole concept. And there's Aikido, there's all kinds of stuff out there like that. But yeah, see here, and this is good too. Tai Chi pursues center, not moves and strikes. A lot of people, even Kung Fu experts, misunderstand the fighting art of Tai Chi aims to block, parry oncoming strikes in fighting. This is a wrong concept. It's the Tai Chi invades / attacks an opponent's balance center. This is because the root of the power comes from the balance and the structure. To manipulate the opponent's balance and center, one is able to control the opponent, stopping them executing force and exposing their weakness. Right. So that's why it looks so effortless, right? Or like, here's the punch, you hit him so hard in his chest. Well, right, because he was moving left or he was moving right. And so you just went in further to push him back, with the other energy. It's just, it's once we understand your center, and again, this is for fighting. We're not here to fight, but that's the, it's you. And you gain such, I was talking about last week, you'll gain such a feeling of connectedness in, like tubes going through, just clear tubes through your whole body, and it realigns your spine, lights up, right? You want to light up your spine. You want all your first starting connections where they all start from to begin, right? So from the formless into the form, right? Giving each dantian, each chakra what it needs, blood, marrow, bones, cleaning out, right? The bone marrow cleansing, right? There's all kinds of these things to do, and it's all very relevant to life, I guess is the way to put it. So I'll stop blabbing there. Oh, I was reading your guys. I'm sorry, keep going. See, I like to blab. Can talk about this stuff forever. Yeah, legs and hips, yeah. Old thought patterns for sure. Oh, back. Heaven, trust from within. Yep. Hey, Josie, nice to see you. Psychic fair. Oh, wow, that's cool. I know. I know. I think and even Saturdays at noon. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing them Saturdays at noon too here, but we'll see. Uh, I'll figure out where to fit it in. I'm getting myself uh in a new pattern. Um, yeah, talk about patterns. I mean, totally. More and more, seeing energy more and more. Okay, cool. Started when your daughter's driving, yelling in front, trying to make an intentional thing you see. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Headaches, yeah. I've been getting those maybe a month or two back. I was getting them for a little, for like, I only get headaches for like a day or two. I don't really get it too long. Like worst case, couple like 3 days, but it's usually not even in a row. Um, yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, totally, Steph. Um, lower chakras moving through. Yeah, lower chakras. We had a lot of solar plexus help recently. Um, that's why it's been so back and lower back. And then it's always the heart expansion. A lot of these energies can't come in, um, can't not come in or, reach people um, without the heart. So, energies can pelt the earth, Mama Gaia, all day, every day. And Mama Gaia is going to be fine. She's just going to love it. Right. But if, like us, heaven, earth, human, if we don't share that, if we don't move that, take our jing, take that energy, jing, chi. Now, chi, what is your chi? What do you want to do? And then cultivate a sense of spiritual connection and awareness, whatever you want to call it, right? I think of the word spiritual or religion or whatever. Everything down here's got juju all over it, like what, you know, every word's got a judgment behind it. Every word's got it's just weird to me. Anyways, um, yeah, crown. Yeah, definitely feeling your crown more when you're aware of your energy. Yeah, no TV for me. I know. I don't watch like anything anymore. Mama watches. Mama just moved out to Cali, so we're bunking together, and she's just used to watching TV too, because it was just her. She's by herself, and we grew up that way, and suburban, normal kind of stuff. But um, I feel bad because she'll get like, oh, fine, we'll watch this or watch or what, you're gonna go outside, again. I'm like, yeah, because it just got done eating. We watched the show, and I don't want to sit and watch anymore unless it's like something I like. I want to binge it, like Vikings or Umbrella Academy, new season. Y'all got to see it. We watched it like right away. It was really good. Um, so I'll do those because I like where they take me energetically, and I like, and that's all it should really be. But if you look at them for too long, you got to step off. Like I think we binged it in 3 days, so we did it. We did it good. That's how I like to, you know, like I don't want to sit for 12 hours. I think that's a little too long, and it can, but it's funny. No, it's too funny. Yeah, guidance. Yeah, no TV. That's funny. No, and then your crown too. Yeah, it's interesting. Like when we get upgraded on like any level, the whole system has to, the way I see it is you're going to get upgraded on your stronger ones first, right? And then those are going to lift up and hold up kind of the weaker ones. Then you got to work on the weaker ones until those get up, and then that gets higher or something or whatever the case. Um, and then it's just constant recalibration. Like life is in balance. Is the process of maintaining balance at all times. Even like walking, right? Breathing, you can't inhale forever. You can't exhale forever. Um, it's constantly balanced, just walking and balance. Um, dualistic umbrella, yeah, that's all. Yeah, it was a good one. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. All right, I think I'm done. 5 phases. I just want to do half an hour. I couldn't get Zoom to work either because I have a personal meeting ID number or whatever, which you only get when you do the paid version, because I used to have paid version. I don't have paid version anymore, but it's locked in and it's grayed out and I can't change it no matter how much I try to not need a password. So then I tried to share the Zoom link And then it said you can't share a Zoom link like this. And I'm like, all right, I just give up today. And then I got on StreamYard and I did this on my phone and it went, I scheduled it, and then I hopped on my laptop and I couldn't get on. So I don't know what happened. And I'll probably have to do this again tomorrow morning to go live unless I figure out what my browser is doing. Because all the settings are good. It's allowing camera access. So I don't, it literally shows not allowing in a camera with an X. And it's like, click on the camera to allow. And I look at my camera and there's no X because it's all allowed. So I honestly think it's like a bug and I don't know if it'll get fixed by tomorrow. So, okay, I'm going to stop blabbing. Love you guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see you guys. I'm trying doing something each week and then building a foundation here, some sort of foundation, okay? And then getting into the actual practices. So we're probably going to go back and go over things that I've already talked about, you know, and actually do the meditations. I want to do like bigger events if possible where we can like get all of us to who want to try the meditations and want to do this stuff. So I want to, but I kind of like want you guys to get used to them. So, you know, putting them out um, initially, you know, and then like that way we could just like meet up like once or twice a year. I'll do like an event where I'll have, you know, I'll host and I'll whatever we can talk about it all, we could whatever. So I don't know. I'm really excited. I love all this stuff. So see you guys next time. And I'll get off right now before I find something else about. So peace.